How's it, everyone? Welcome to another string review right here on OpenCourt. I'm Kent, and today I'm testing a string by the company Tru Pro. So a couple of months ago, I released my review of their Firewire string, and Tru Pro responded to me saying they really liked that review and they wanted to send me their newest string to review. So of course I said yes, and they sent me that string. So today we're testing it out, and that string is the Tru Pro Pure Rush. Let's check it out. So the Tru Pro Pure Rush comes in one color, which is a nice sky blue color similar to the ReString 0, and it comes in 4 gauges: 133, 128, 123, and 118. So a variety of gauges for everyone who's looking for durability, control, to power, spin, and feel. This is a 6-sided poly meant to really grab the ball and provide that ball rotation on top spin and slices. So I'm really excited for that because I want a lot of help with spin and I like shaped polys. So I went on Tru Pro's website, I read all of the string's descriptions as well as some of the other reviews on that channel, and I read the back of the package, and it seems that Tru Pro recommends this Pure Rush string to more advanced players with really fast swings, really sound mechanics that want power, spin, feel, and control. And that sounds exactly like me. I wouldn't say that I'm a super advanced player, but those are the things that I'm looking for most when it comes to a polyester string. The string also claims to blend superb durability and tension stability along with comfort, and that's actually pretty hard to achieve because usually if you're going to maintain stability, tension stability, and durability, it's usually going to be on the stiffer side. So it's hard to get a really elastic and flexible string to also be durable and maintain tension because softer strings tend to stretch, but we'll see if this string is also comfortable. And lastly, the headline on this string's description says smooth, powerful response without sacrificing precision. So if it gets power and control, that'd be great because those are mainly the two things that I look for in a poly to help my aggressive game, as well as my control, my deceptive angles, my drop shots, all of that blended into one string. So I'm excited to try this out. Alright, so I got the Tru Pro Pure Rush strung up in my Prince Phantom. It's been a minute since I last used this racket, but the reason I decided to string it in this is because this racket, or this string, claims to provide good spin, and the Phantom is a 1820, so it definitely needs that assistance with spin, so I want to see if it's going to get that. It's also a very low powered frame because it's very thin, very flexy, so I'm going to see if this Tru Pro Pure Rush is going to unlock a little bit of power. And hopefully with this Prince Phantom's control-oriented feel, I'll be able to hit my crafty drop shots, angle volleys, as well as my short angles and corner shots that I really like to go for. Alright, so I'm excited to try this Pure Rush for the first time. If you guys are interested in trying the Pure Rush or any of Tru Pro's other strings, I'll leave a link down in my description below to check out Tru Pro's website, so click on that link to check them out. And as always, if you guys like this content, be sure to overhead smash that like and subscribe button to keep the reviews coming. So let's start with the pros of the Tru Pro Pure Rush. First off, the control on this string was awesome. I felt completely in control for the most part, and the controlled response of the Pure Rush paired with the Prince Phantom made hitting aggressive baseline shots really easy and fun. I felt locked in on long baseline exchanges, and I never felt like I would hit an erratic shot. I'm a very aggressive player and I have a tendency to overswing on a lot of shots, but the Pure Rush seemed to give me a lot of consistency even when I would take an undisciplined swing. The 1820 string pattern definitely played a factor, but the string gave me a nice controlled response to stay on the gas and be aggressive. Compared to the one other Tru Pro string I've tried, the Firewire, the Pure Rush was much more control oriented and consistent. The Firewire played fairly erratic with an unpredictable launch angle, and I really like the Pure Rush on my return of serves. I like to step in and try to take returns early to put my opponents on the defensive so I can dictate the flow of the point. And the Pure Rush's control allowed me to take an aggressive cut, and the returns seemed to naturally go deep and land just inside the baseline. That allowed me to follow my return to the net and pressure my opponent. Another great aspect of the Pure Rush was the spin potential. This string's edges grabbed the ball and provided plenty of rotation. When I was stringing it, the edges didn't seem too sharp, so I was surprised at the level of spin I was getting, especially from an 1820 pattern. The spin was most noticeable on my kick serve, and that is precisely where I judge a string's spin potential most, so I was very pleasantly surprised by the Pure Rush. I was able to hit kick serves that dove down onto the service line and bounced up and away from my outstretched opponent. I usually struggle to hit high kicking kick serves with my Phantom since it has a tight pattern, but I was consistently able to get my opponent to return outside their strike zone, leading to weak returns that I could attack. My Phantom has a naturally low launch angle, so I didn't struggle too much with my aggressive swings, but I definitely noticed great topspin on my forehand. I tend to swing in more of a straight line, but I do hit some decent topspin on my forehands during rallies, and the Pure Rush gave me topspin that would cause the ball to dive inside the baseline. The spin was very noticeable on anything hit down by my knees. When I attempted a topspin stroke on something down low, I was able to lift up and I felt the strings really grab and pull the ball over the net. I immediately saw the ball dive back down once it crossed the net, and I could easily approach the net after this low topspin. I also had no trouble hitting dipping ground strokes that stayed low so the opposing net player couldn't poach. I also really enjoyed aiming at my opponent's feet with the topspin to force a pop-up. Needless to say, the Pure Rush Prince Phantom 1820 combo was an absolute dream on slices. Tight string patterns naturally get low gliding slices, and the Pure Rush's edges complemented the racket really well in two ways. First, the tight grip allowed me to pull slices left and right easily, and that allowed me to keep the ball low and away from the opponent on defense, and also allowed me to push the ball deep into the corner on offense. Secondly, the edges provide so much backspin that my slices were skidding low and in some instances were bouncing to the side. I enjoyed hitting slices just as much as full swing ground strokes with the Pure Rush. The Pure Rush, although pretty firm, also provided a decent amount of power and pop. Even in my low-powered Phantom, I had no trouble hitting deep consistently, and if I ever stepped in and put my legs and hips into a shot, I noticed very good court penetration. The string bed is very lively and the ball seems to come off very quickly. This could sometimes be a bit hard to control if I took a smaller swing because the ball would end up flying further than I expected, but for the most part, the power level is exactly where I wanted it to be. The liveliness of the Pure Rush reminded me a lot of Headlink's Tour, which is my current favorite poly. The strings pocket the ball and shoots it out with a decent amount of velocity. I think the Pure Rush is a bit livelier than the Link's Tour. I really appreciated the power on my two-handed backhand. I could rally from the baseline with confidence and my backhand would consistently keep my opponent pinned behind the baseline. If I got a full hip rotation, my backhand was quite deadly. The power was very welcome on defense as well. On outstretched ground strokes and slices, the Pure Rush assisted in depth, and I rarely ever fed a short ball for my opponent to attack. So to sum up the pros, the Pure Rush has a very good overall balance between power and control and provides very good spin, especially on my kick serve, and I really enjoyed it. The dwell time also allows me to hit left and right easily, and lateral control and depth control are no issues. I felt in complete control and I really enjoyed playing my all-court game with the Pure Rush. Now let's move into the cons of the Tru Pro Pure Rush. To be honest, there isn't much in the cons area. This string was a big surprise and I couldn't find any glaring cons during my playtest, maybe just a couple nitpicks. First, the tension seemed to drop at a steady, gradual pace and it eventually stabilized. However, the tension it stabilized at was a bit too low for my aggressive game. I noticed the launch angle was becoming higher and higher after a certain point, and I started flying returns long even when I took a half swing to try to keep the ball in play. This was really only an issue on my returns because I tend to step inside the baseline when hitting. If I use this in a more open pattern like my boom, I think the launch might become a bit too high and unpredictable. Coupled with the lively nature of the strings, the Pure Rush might be better for me in a thicker gauge or a higher tension because the tension at which it stabilized was a bit too springy for my returns. Secondly, this isn't a big deal, but I would have liked a bit more of a crisp response. The Pure Rush isn't a dead string by any means, but it was not close to some of my favorite crisp strings. Part of it might have to do with the Phantom, which is a pretty dampened racket, but I couldn't hit drop shots that well with this setup. Although the string is firm, I would have liked a bit more direct arm feedback. And speaking of the firmness, I wouldn't recommend this string to anyone with arm problems. This is in the middle range in stiffness of all the strings I've reviewed on this channel. It's definitely softer than the ReString 0, but it is not an arm-friendly poly in my opinion. If you want something softer, I'm sure Tru Pro has something more comfortable. Overall, I was really surprised by the playability, spin, and control of the Pure Rush because the previous string I tried by Tru Pro, the Firewire, really wasn't to my liking. If I were to use this string again, I would string 2 pounds higher to compensate for the drop in tension, and hopefully it will stabilize in the stiffness zone I like. So lastly, who is the Tru Pro Pure Rush string for? This string is for advanced ball strikers who like a lively response but also want spin and control for aggressive swings. Those that rely on punishing serves and ground strokes to bully their opponent around the court will love this string. Net players might find the string too lively for reflex and defensive volleys, but it does provide ample put-away power, so if you are a disciplined volleyer, the Pure Rush could be an option. So the Pure Rush is one of the biggest surprises of the year for me, since I wasn't expecting much from this string after trying the Firewire. I am now more interested in trying their other strings. Let me know in the comments if you've tried the Pure Rush and what you think of it. If you're interested in trying the Pure Rush or any of Tru Pro's other strings, I've left a link in the description below. Use that for an awesome 20% discount on any of Tru Pro's items. That greatly supports the channel and helps you guys save some money, so give it a try and I'll see you on the next review. Thank you for watching this review of the Tru Pro Pure Rush string right here on OpenCourt. If you guys like this content, be sure to overhead smash that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on an OpenCourt.